test, 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 test. Test, test, test.
Alrighty then. Okay. Hope you didn't mind the testing I did just before now and was amused enough by to include. But I went and recorded almost an hour of content yesterday working on this tower with caffeine, and once again, through means unknown, the only audio that got through was from the mic. So absolutely nothing from what Caffeine was saying, none of the game audio, all gone, and I don't have the patience this time to include it, especially since the recording didn't go that well. And then, Caffeine fell off the tower at the end, and it was just... I wasn't up to all the editing that would take to pair... Whoa! What just happened? Have I come on... Ooh. Jeez, I don't want that guy to see me. Why are they all here? Jeez, I almost hit the poor guy. Don't want that! What am I actually doing? Oh, I want more clay, and I want more... I need green dye. Lime green dye, for that matter, but I have to get lots of cacti for that to work out. So, yeah, I have to... I have some cacti at origin, but certainly not enough. I might have to expand my cacti farm. So I do need to record and compile a grind, so that's what I'm going to do now. And I don't know, complete this road. I mean, Caffeine's stuff is in a chest at my tower, so she's going to want to come back this way, and she hates these narrow roads, and, understandably. So you can see here they need to be somewhat more finished than they are now. So, what should I talk about? Let's see. Are you guys familiar with the Fermi Paradox? What, no answer? Come on. Are you? I'll sit here and wait the whole time until you tell me if you're familiar with the Fermi Paradox. Well, this is something I might have discussed before, and if I have, well, screw you. I'm going to talk about it again. So, the Fermi Paradox is essentially the question as to why we have no evidence of alien life yet. And at the time this was postulated, or whatever the appropriate term is for something like that, we had a lot less to go on than we do now, especially in our own light. I mean, our ability to create robotic probes and stuff, I don't even know if it existed at the time of Fermi. I rather suspect he's a bit older than that, but maybe not. Maybe not. My research is incomplete and wasn't particularly motivated in that particular case. I was more interested in what the paradox was about rather than the person. So, basically, what it suggests is that if alien life has ever existed and it has ever succeeded, even so far as we have, then evidence of its existence should be littering the entire universe, pretty much suffusing every corner with some part of junk or debris or other evidence that they came, went, are here, were gone, whatever the case may be. And humanity itself has generally proven itself to fit into this context. Like, I wonder if there's a way to make these grow faster. I mean, look at that. 7. Come on. 7? There should have been 8. Where'd the other one go? How come I never get all 8? The last time I did this, I didn't get a full 8 either. The other thing that bugs me is that I have to bake this to get dye. Is there no other way to get green dye? Well, that's annoying. And frig. I want more than that. Is there really no... no way to make it. Ooh, look at that. I had more clay I didn't know about. Screw it, I'm taking that with me. Actually, that will... the one! Ha ha ha! Okay. Bear with me as I go insane. No big deal, right? Okay, so... let's see here. Humanity itself has more than proven that even if it is only a stage... not sure if to carry with me and potentially lose. I don't want to lose it, so let me just put this stuff away. Wait a minute. Oh, that's sandstone, not sand. Green wool. Oh yeah, I'd bring one of these with me. That would be a good idea. Well, we certainly have left our junk everywhere we go. We are really, really, really terrible at this. And we now, and I'm guessing Fermi and von Neumann and stuff like that at the time were largely just postulating this stuff, but we have since come to prove that we can produce self-replicating machines. And we're not quite that far yet, but we will be soon. Where a machine can essentially produce copies of itself based on internal templating and access to supplies. And there's a level of sophistication we do not have yet. Like right now, we have to be middlemen in that process, to supply the device with more materials because it's not yet quite capable of securing them all entirely on its own. It will eventually be able to, but just not yet. But we've already, 3D printing has only just happened, and it's already hugely more sophisticated than it was just a year ago. The prices have been cut down to a tenth of what it was, and it's going to keep going. And because the ultimate methods, I guess that's not quite the right word, but I wonder if I can use his paths. Oh, wait. His paths don't exist here. Oh, crap. This is an actually quite effective gate, by the way. Ooh, okay. Crap. But, the missing step, but also something that has been demonstrated recently to be possible, if not yet quite easy, is the extraction of and refinement of materials on its own. We use machines to do these things now, but a machine to go off on its own and identify how to do all this stuff excuse me, and whatnot. So point being, we're not that far away from being able, I assume this is the right way, not that at all far away from being able to create devices like probes that can go out to, let's say, the asteroid belt, settle in, start dissecting, and basically eating these asteroids bit by bit, siphoning off the richness of metals and water that are available there. And yes, water is an amazing fuel source, by the way. And creating copies. And then these copies can go off and do the same thing, which then create copies that go off and do the same thing, which then create copies which go off and do the same thing. Now, even if these probes then reach solar escape velocity, they leave the solar system, and it takes them 10,000 years to reach the next star, which, frankly, we already have the ability to do better than that. We just don't have the willpower yet. By the way, this is all new to me, and I'm hearing things like that I don't want to hear. We can already go faster than that. Oplek has joined the game. Don't mind me. All I want, Oplek, is some sand. Hopefully this is the right direction. I won't be taking it from your territory if you're watching, but in the neutral zone in between territories, which means I probably have to head north from wherever this place is. Holy cow, he's got a village. That's cool. Look at that. It's up on legs. That's awesome. Okay. I have not seen that in his videos yet. Which way is north? South? North. Okay. I think this is correct. I just need to figure out how to get down. Oh. There's magma coming out of his house. Is that supposed to happen? I suppose I need to go through the building. Can I do that? Maybe not. Glass. Did I just condemn myself to doom here by going down? I might have. I do have food with me, though. Oh, here's another step. God, he's got a lot going on here. This is freaking cool. Oh, you know what I see? I see water. Okay, so even if these are very, very lazy probes that take 10,000 years to cross over to the next star, just from our system alone, you could have manufactured millions of these things. Not just from sources. I'm just talking for a handful of larger asteroids like Ceres and stuff like that. North is that way. Okay. So, yeah, the X is just about right. So I have about 800 to go. I don't even know if I'll be able to reach that in the span of this episode. Hello, egg-carrying armored guy. Geez, that was not kind of you to help me out in that way. So, damn it, I lost my place. Oh, crap. Damn it. Think. Oh, yeah. So even if... Oh. Yeah, he's got his own farm there. Oh, well, this is a good start, except I still have to do it outside of his territory. So... Oh, this is an arena of his. I think I saw this on a video. By the way, if you guys aren't watching his videos, you really should. He's quieter than I am. But he does interesting things. Maybe it's just me, and I'm interested in what he does and what people do on my server, but... I'm still pretty happy with it. So, 10,000 years, a lot of probes go out. They visit the nearest several stars. Okay, they then find more debris, which is inevitable. All these stars are going to have debris of one sort or another. And they replicate again. And they head to another assortment of stars. And then they head to another assortment of stars. And each time they replicate and they spread outward in this effectively a shell. Now, it might take hundreds of thousands of years, but at that kind of exponential rate, these probes can reach every single star in the galaxy. And given a few million years, they can reach the nearest other galaxy and then spread from there. And if you tried to do one probe at a time, you would never be able to explore the universe. But if you do allow this exponential growth, you could effectively explore everything. Now, you, as the original species, might not be around to read any of these signals coming back. And this is assuming, of course, they don't find ways of circumventing light speed. But... oh, I don't need this anymore. Well, I do a little bit. God, what am I saying? The point is, we, right now, human beings, have the ability to infuse pretty much the entire universe with our debris, stuff that is evidence of us, whether or not we still exist at the time or not. And the paradox then says, well, if that's the case, why don't we see the debris and probes and evidence of the billions of other species that probably have come and gone throughout the universe so far? Because even though the odds of life are slim, the opportunity is as close to infinite as you can measure, and therefore adds up to making life extremely common in the grand scheme of things. So, and it only takes one of those species, one set of aliens to do what we're doing now, and evidence of them will have been everywhere. And we'd be evolving, growing up amidst alien junk. And that's just one. Even if you had like some sort of federation thing that says, well, do not interfere with other life, and 99.9% of all species obey that law, it only takes that 0.1% to not obey to, again, fill the entire universe with alien junk from one corner to the other. And yet we have seen absolutely zero evidence. But the odds of our being the only life out there, or the odds of our being the first race to reach space, are so astronomically ridiculous as to be essentially impossible. And yet, there's no evidence. So, that's the paradox. We should be living in a solar system filled with alien debris. But we're not. At least as far as we can tell, we're not. And you have to ask yourself, why? Now, pretty much every single explanation I can come up with, except one, so violates Occam's razor. You know, again, if only 1 out of a billion species does what we do, then every corner of the galaxy would be filled with junk from our exploration, conquest, whatever it is, will be still immature enough to do at the time. So, let me think. I should get more sand while I'm here. In fact, let me do that. My cat's groaning in his sleep again. So, I don't know, it's tough. The thing is, we are about to do this. We will probably live long enough. We might go extinct in the next couple hundred years because of our idiocy, but we are smart enough to leave galactic evidence of our existence probably within the next 20 years. I mean, that will be the starting point. It won't, it'll take millions of years to fill every corner of the galaxy, but in even in the terms of lifespans of stars and even life itself, millions of years is a blink of an eye. So, and there's been more than enough time in the universe already for some uncountable number of species to have already been through what we're going through now. Even if it's different, it doesn't matter, because only one of them has to resemble this. So, like I was saying, every explanation I can come up with except one violates Occam's razor. You have to get really ridiculous. Like, well, some other race came along with probes whose design is to come along and eat up the other probes. For some inexplicable reason, they want to destroy evidence of alien life in the universe. Possible, but implausible. And again, it runs up into the case of, well, that assumes that they were 100% successful 100% of the time, which never happens. People blame, folk like the FBI and stuff for what they didn't succeed at, while never giving them any credit, or generally because they don't know what they did succeed at. So, because, granted, I'm not really a fan of them and CIA and stuff right now, but I think they are a little bit more maligned than necessary. And poor Oplekland was blown up by a creeper. I'm sorry. Anyways, there is one explanation I think that might work. And it is one that is gaining popularity right now in the scientific, astro modeling community. Something I wish I had gotten into myself. I'd love to do astro modeling. In fact, I might just do it in my spare time anyways. Screw everybody else. And that is the notion that we are simulated. That this existence of ours, that we, as we perceive it, is a simulation. It sounds a little strange, but the more they model it, the more likely it becomes, which is interesting. We are simulating the way in which we might be a simulation. But it really makes trying to explain the Fermi Paradox ridiculously easy. Oh, no evidence of aliens? Well, that's because whoever's simulating us didn't put them in. They're not there. They're not in the simulation. Why would you see anything? Now, there might be hybrids to this idea. Like, we might have been physically real at one point and are only being simulated temporarily until we prove ourselves to be mature enough to be allowed out into a space where alien, technologically advanced alien debris is found in every corner of the universe. I mean, can you imagine the amount of damage we could do with access to that kind of stuff? In our absolute abject immaturity as a species right now, we would be horrible with getting our hands on stuff that we didn't even produce ourselves and have little to no capacity to appreciate or respect. So the amount of murder we could do amongst the stars with stuff like that, we could already do enough damage just as we are right now. So what if a few species in the past, and this is based on the assumption that the universe itself is ultimately real in some way, not a simulation, but there is a universe out there just like the one we're seeing, but we're simply quarantined from it by some mechanism. We're not allowed to interact with it right now because we're too stupid to be let out into the street. You know what I mean? We've demonstrated ourselves to be idiots, not ready. We have to mature before we can be let out of the playpen, so to speak. How am I doing? I'm getting close to Dark Essence's territory. Even if he doesn't end up playing, somebody might. So I don't want to screw with that. Anyways, so maybe, it's either possible that we are real physically, but quarantined within like a sphere of simulated material so that we cannot see what is truly beyond our borders and acts as a firewall between us and alien debris coming into our system. That is not completely implausible. Alternately, maybe we were digitized, that we're not real right now, but we were. And we will be again once we've grown up and we can be trusted with the realities of the universe rather than feared. I'm seeing, looks like markers. I bet Oplekland has been out this way. So, yeah, that's my theory, and it makes explaining the Fermi Paradox trivial. Well, no alien, like I said, no aliens. Well, just don't put them in the simulation. It's simple as that. In fact, it's so ridiculously simple. It's almost an oversight. And frankly, the sudden appearance of aliens in our culture since like the 40s might even be stepping stones. Like, we're starting to grow up a little bit, and so we're being presented with new challenges. Maybe. I'm just absolutely postulating here, but I don't know. It makes a certain kind of sense to me. And like I said, it is the only explanation I've been able to come up with that satisfies the Fermi Paradox in a way that is not completely ridiculous. I mean, if we can simulate worlds, we can be simulated. And you know what? Given all that, I don't really care. I care. I actually find it interesting. I care in that sense. I don't, if I'm simulated, big whoop. I'm still enjoying myself for the most part. Not every day, but, it's working out for me. I'm not unhappy with this scenario. Maybe after the simulation, I will still exist in some way. Frankly, if you step back from this idea a little bit, you realize it's not a terrible description of what religious people tend to believe, that this world is a temporary world, and there's something more beyond. Well, that fits really, really closely with a lot of sort of religious beliefs. Thank you. So maybe there are even hints of this, and maybe it is happening. Maybe we've been given hints. An administrator came into our simulation at some point in time and said, "Hey, by the way, there's more to look forward to after all this is done." And then in our childish ways, we have then interpreted that in, sort of, I would say, Asimovian kind of way. I think he's the one who said that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Yeah, that's very, very easy way to explain so much religion. So I don't know. It's a thought process, and I think I'll leave it at that and make my way. I've got 30 levels. I want to enchant something before I die. So yeah, I'll go back to work on the tower. Maybe I can coax Caffeine into coming back and doing a little bit more recording to make up for the recordings that we've lost. And, weekend is upon you, so let's enjoy it, damn it. See you later.